Chapter 1: Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In this chapter, the author, Robert Kiyosaki, introduces his two dads, his biological father, the poor dad, and his best friend's father, the rich dad. Kiyosaki explains that his poor dad was highly educated and held a PhD degree, but struggled financially throughout his life. On the other hand, his rich dad was a self-made millionaire who never finished high school. Kiyosaki describes how his two dads had completely different financial mindsets and how he learned valuable lessons from both of them. His poor dad taught him to get a good education, work hard, and save money, while his rich dad taught him to focus on financial education, smart investing, and building passive income streams. The chapter emphasizes the importance of financial education and understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. Kiyosaki explains that an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, such as a rental property or a stock, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, such as a car payment or a mortgage. Kiyosaki also introduces the concept of the rat race, which is the idea that many people are trapped in a cycle of working hard for money, only to spend it on liabilities and consumer goods. He suggests that in order to escape the rat race, individuals need to start thinking like investors and focus on building passive income streams through assets. Overall, Chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad lays the foundation for the book's financial philosophy and sets the stage for the lessons and stories that follow. Chapter 2: The Rich Don't Work for Money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki discusses the importance of financial education and the difference between working for money and having money work for you. He shares how his rich dad taught him to focus on building assets that generate passive income, rather than just working hard for a paycheck. Kiyosaki describes how his rich dad encouraged him and his friend Mike to start their own business by creating a cash flow game. The game taught them valuable lessons about financial literacy, such as the importance of cash flow and how to invest in assets that generate passive income. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of taking risks and making mistakes in order to learn and grow. Kiyosaki explains that many people are too afraid to take risks or make mistakes, which holds them back from achieving financial success. Kiyosaki also introduces the concept of the cash flow statement, which is a financial statement that shows the inflow and outflow of cash over a period of time. He explains that in order to build wealth, individuals need to focus on increasing their cash flow by building assets that generate passive income. Overall, Chapter 2 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad reinforces the book's financial philosophy and encourages readers to think like investors and focus on building assets that generate passive income. It also emphasizes the importance of financial education, taking risks, and making mistakes in order to learn and grow. Chapter 3: Why Teach Financial Literacy? In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki discusses the importance of financial education and why it's not taught in schools. He argues that schools focus on teaching students to be good employees, but don't teach them the skills they need to become successful investors or entrepreneurs. Kiyosaki shares how he learned about financial literacy from his rich dad, who taught him to focus on building assets and generating passive income. He explains that this mindset allowed him to retire at a young age and live a financially independent lifestyle. The chapter also discusses the importance of taking control of one's financial future and not relying on the government or an employer to provide financial security. Kiyosaki emphasizes that individuals need to educate themselves about money and investing in order to achieve financial success. Kiyosaki introduces the concept of financial statements, which are tools for measuring and managing one's finances. He explains that the three main financial statements are the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. The chapter concludes with a discussion of the importance of building a strong financial foundation by focusing on financial education, creating a plan for financial success, and taking action to achieve one's goals. Overall, Chapter 3 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad emphasizes the importance of financial literacy and taking control of one's financial future. It encourages readers to focus on building assets and generating passive income, and provides practical tools for measuring and managing one's finances. Chapter 4: The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki discusses the history of taxes and how the wealthy use corporations to legally minimize their tax liabilities. He explains that taxes are one of the biggest expenses for most people, and that the wealthy understand how to use the tax system to their advantage. Kiyosaki describes how his rich dad taught him about the power of corporations and how they can be used to protect assets and minimize taxes. He explains that corporations are separate legal entities that can own assets, generate income, and pay taxes at a lower rate than individuals. The chapter also discusses the importance of understanding the difference between earned income and passive income. Kiyosaki explains that earned income is income from a job or a business that requires active effort, while passive income is income from assets that generate income without active effort. Kiyosaki encourages readers to focus on building assets that generate passive income, such as rental properties or businesses, in order to minimize taxes and achieve financial independence. Overall, Chapter 4 of Rich Dad Poor Dad emphasizes the importance of understanding taxes and how the wealthy use corporations to legally minimize their tax liabilities. It encourages readers to focus on building assets that generate passive income, and provides practical tips for achieving financial independence through smart investing and business ownership. Chapter 5. The Rich Invent Money. In this chapter, Robert Kiyosaki discusses the importance of financial intelligence and how it allows the wealthy to invent money. He explains that financial intelligence is the ability to understand how money works, and that it's a key factor in achieving financial success. Kiyosaki describes how his rich dad taught him to be financially intelligent by teaching him to focus on cash flow and to create assets that generate passive income. He explains that the wealthy are able to invent money by creating and controlling assets that generate cash flow. The chapter also discusses the importance of financial education and how it can help individuals become financially intelligent. Kiyosaki explains that financial education is not just about learning how to make money, but also about learning how to manage money and invest wisely. Kiyosaki encourages readers to think creatively and to find ways to invent money by creating assets that generate passive income. He suggests that individuals can do this by starting a business, investing in real estate, or investing in stocks or other assets. The chapter concludes with a discussion of the importance of taking action and learning from one's mistakes in order to achieve financial success. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial intelligence is not something that can be learned overnight, but that it's a skill that can be developed over time through practice and experience. Overall, Chapter 5 of Rich Dad Poor Dad reinforces the book's financial philosophy and encourages readers to think creatively and become financially intelligent. It emphasizes the importance of financial education, taking action, and learning from one's mistakes in order to achieve financial success.